What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So the other day in Chicago, I read some really disturbing news. I read a disturbing story, right? There was a young lady, she was in the River North area, downtown. Um, there was a young lady who allegedly she saw her friend's boyfriend out with another woman, right? I guess he was out on a date or something like that. And so when she saw him, she went to confront the young man about, his infidelity with her, against her friend. And she went to go approach him about it. And I guess some type of argument or something happened when she came to approach him about him cheating on her friend. And he ends up shooting the young lady and her sister and taking the young lady's life. Right? Y'all, like, I was in disbelief when I read this story. Like, I was like, nah, man, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. Like, this man didn't want to get caught cheating so bad. He wanted to kill somebody. Like, he really wanted to kill this woman for exposing him like that because he was just that mad. It was just like, man, like, I was like, what? Like, that's some demonic type shit. That's like, wow. That's super wild. That's super childish. That's super heinous. Because I feel like that's a super punk move to kill somebody because you get put on blast, right? However, the grand scheme of this story, it's super sad. It saddens me that this young lady's family has to bury her. They have to say goodbye to her off of an incident like this in the cowardice actions of a young man, right? However, I really want to caution individuals. Young women, if your friend is dealing with a young man and you see him out cheating on her or out on a date with another young lady, the best thing you could do is just tell your friend. Don't go over there confronting him. Don't put him on blast. Don't try to come over there and, be under the Cheaters Act and put a phone in his face, so on and so forth. Because, everybody is not in their right mind, right? I'm sure that young woman, like, to me, I like when some people were like, it had to be more to it. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the young lady's friend who was dating that young man, I'm sure she probably was aware that that young brother probably had moments of being unstable mentally. He was off of his rocker. He was not all the way there. And so she probably may know at home, he's a different individual. He is off the Richter scale. He's completely unhinged. The friend didn't know this, and she approached that man, and that man, his true nature came out. He lost it, and he killed the young lady that had no business being shot or anything like that. But this is just a cautionary tale. Don't ever, and I'm not absolving that man for what he did, the heinous thing that he did, taking this young woman's life at all. Young woman, 26 years old. I'm not absolving him from it at all. I just want to give out a cautionary tale for young women not to approach men when they see their friend's man is out on another date with another woman. The best thing you can do is tell your friend. And sometimes, again, and then she would choose to do what she wants to do with that information, right? Because believe it or not, sometimes women probably already know that their man is cheating. They know what type of man they have. They just love that man for who he is and love him despite those actions or flaws. And they might already know what he's doing. And then she could forgive him tomorrow or a week from now. And then you went and caused a whole scene and disturbance with that young man when she ends up being with him a day or two later or the next day, or he come home to her at night and everything is all forgiven. And you made a big deal about something that she probably may not have a big deal about, right? And what's crazy is it could have been a situation like that with this young lady, Her life was taken by a cowardly man. But then, like, let's just say she would have approached him and nothing would have happened. It could have been a situation where her friend probably would have ended up getting back with the brother. If she just confronted him and put him on blast and he didn't do anything and he just got put on blast and he was embarrassed and ashamed, and it could have been a situation where he could have come home, apologized for his actions, she could have forgiven him, and then she'd be right back in the bed with him later on that night, and then the friend is wondering, damn, I made all that disturbance for nothing. That's what happens a lot of times, man. So sometimes it's best to just tell your friend and let them do whatever they're gonna do. Let them do whatever they're gonna do with that information. But don't take matters into your own hands. Never do that, because you never know what people are gonna do with that information. They could be very well forget that person and be laid up with them right tomorrow. I've seen it happen so many times. Girls expose their friends, man, for cheating, and they end up being with the dude later on that night, and it's like, well, I should have just never even put myself in that situation in the first place. If she gonna, or they say I'm not gonna put myself in that no more, because evidently she gonna forgive him. She forgave him. It is what it is. So sometimes you gotta exclude yourself from that situation at all, and don't put yourself in those situations. You could tell your friend, but don't put yourself in a situation where you could be in a standoff with an individual because you're embarrassing them. They're feeling embarrassed. They're feeling ashamed, or they just pissed off at the fact that you didn't caught them up in something, and they just lose their mind because they already are mentally unstable, or they already are, they already are wild individuals anyway, or on edge, or unhinged individuals anyway. And the moment you create a standoff or you expose them in a certain type of way, they unleash and they just act what's the word I'm looking for? They act unruly to the worst degree. And it's in this situation, this is the worst heinous way he could have responded, by shooting the girl and killing her. And then the sister got shot as well, her sister that was with her. Right? Just a terrible story, sad story, man. It's just like, it's sickening, man. And the thing with this is, a lot of times individuals like this, when you got a dude like this to kill a young lady for being exposed, they've already, not to the young ladies, not to the friend that was killed, but to their significant other, they probably have shown signs of them being this wild, unhinged person. The friend didn't tell her friend that got killed probably that, hey, this dude is wild, he crazy, he got, he's unstable in certain type of ways. She doesn't know this. She thinks if she comes and confronts him that, and again, it's never good to confront anybody because that's not your situation. Leave that be. Just tell your friend. But she comes and confronts him and she's not thinking she's going to get killed. She's not thinking she's going to lose her life. And because if she did, she would never have confronted that man if she would have thought that. She's not thinking that in the slightest bit. But unfortunately, super unfortunately, that brother killed that young lady. He killed that young lady when he just shouldn't have killed her. He shouldn't have done anything like that to her at all. But a person, a person will respond. And sometimes I learned this too. Even if a person isn't crazy or unhinged, sometimes there are people who respond to embarrassment in the absolute worst way. Like, just, they don't know how to recover from an embarrassing situation, that they go completely left and lose it. I've heard of stories in the hood. Dudes killing other guys because they got embarrassed by that man in a public setting. And they came back and killed that guy that embarrassed them because they just didn't know how to handle the embarrassment or the shame, or how to overcome that. And then unfortunately, they're handling that embarrassment and shame. Not even handling it. Instead of handling just embarrassment and shame, they're handling being behind bars for 25 years, 20 years, which is something nobody want to see. And they got to live with the fact that they killed another man, and their family caused another family to grieve and hurt and be in despair. And so this is what this brother's going to have to live with. The fact that he overreacted and killed a woman out of him being embarrassed and being ashamed and being put on Front Street. And unfortunately, that young lady's family is now left to live grieving her loss with the fact that she's not here. 26-year-old young lady, beautiful young lady. It's terrible, man. It's horrible. But I just want to caution young women, if you see a situation like this occurring, don't insert yourself into that. You tell your friend you see it. You just say, I see your guy out here, whatever. And then she'll do whatever she wants to do with that information. Right? Because again, it could be a situation you go and you cause a hysteria, a mass hysteria about it. You go in his face, how you cheating on my friend? How could you do this to her? You wrong, you terrible, you're a horrible person. And then the next day, your friend is with the guy, chilling out and kicking it, and they all lovey-dovey once again. So, it's sometimes you can't insert yourself in certain situations that, is not involving your relationship or a relationship that you have. You simply tell the person you tell your friend what you see. You allow them to do whatever they want to do with that information. And it is what it is. But just a horrible situation, man. Rest in peace to that young lady. My condolences to her family. It's just terrible, man. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.